My stepsister begged MA for $5,000 for an emergency ten uzit for a vacation instead. So, I told our parents, who discovered also scammed them for $3,000. Now, she's being forced to celebrate eating. My relationship with my stepsister uzit to be solid. Wir botten our mit 20 years, and we generally gotten along well since our parents got married about 10 years ago. We even lived together for a couple of years and never had any serious drama. I trusted her, and I took she trusted MA. We're a family. So, about a month ago, she came to MA and asked if she could borrow $5,000 for an emergency. She was super vague about it. I did ask what was going on. I mean, you don't just hand so me ohne 5 grand without a reason, but she looked on the verge of tears and said so meeting like, I don't want to get into it, but I really need your help. It's urgent. I'll pay you back next month. I promise. She seemed panicked and desperate. I figured she was swallowing her pride to ask MA for such a huge favor. It had to be serious. My medical bills, or some kind of crisis. She was too embarrassed to explain. Honestly, I don't understand women's bodies, so I took my bed was so meeting related to that. So don't ask MA for money in the comments. Haha. Anyways, after a bit of hesitation, I decided to help. I had to pull from my personal savings money I set aside for other goals, but I gave her the 5 grand. It was a lot of money for MA, but I felt like I'd be a terrible brother if I did step up when she was begging for help. Fast forward to this week, I found out through our cousin of all people what that emergency really was. And it was complete BS. My cousin was close to bot of US, asked if my stepsis enjoyed her Hawaii vacation. I was like, oh, what Hawaii vacation? That's when the whole story came out. Apparently, my stepsister went on a luxury trip to Hawaii with her boyfriend last month, literally right after she got the money from MA. We're talking first-class tickets, a fancy resort, cocktails on the beach, the whole Instagram influencer package. At first, I honestly took Tera must be a mistake. Maybe my cousin mixed her up with Someone else. But nope, my cousin showed MA photos that my stepsis had sent her. Tera shivers, posing on a sunny Waikiki beach with a drink in hand, living it up in Paradise. I asked my cousin WHY on earth my stepsister would send her to the pictures, knowing she supposedly had no money and that I'd given her $5,000 for an emergency. My cousin then revealed that my steps had sent the photos specifically to show off and make her jealous. Bit of backstory, my cousin has always wanted to go to Hawaii but can't afford it. My stepsister knees, and apparently took it would be fun to whoop it in. According to my cousin, my steps literally admitted that she managed to go to Hawaii and wanted to share some pics, clearly bragging. So not only did my stepsister lie to my face and basically steal my money, she also used the whole thing as an opportunity to one-up our cousin. I can't even fathom WHY she to the meeting that mean-spirited, aside from pure pettiness. I am beyond furious. $5,000 is not pocket change for MA. It took a big chunk out of my savings. I gave it to her because I truly believed she was in a crisis and needed help. To find out she blew it on a Hawaii TV with her boyfriend and then had the audacity to flaunt it, makes my blood boil. I've been sitting here staring for a day, trying to figure out how to handle this. I had a family drama, and confronting her would definitely be the nuclear option. As of now, I haven't done anything yet because I'm still processing how messed up this is. This isn't a random friend or stranger scamming MA. It's my own sister. Well, stepsister. But we've been family for years. I never imagined she'd pull a meeting like this, given we normally got along fine. I'm posting here because I'm angry as hell, and honestly at alles. Update 1. Alright, I took about a day to cool off, or at least to not be sehr angry, and then decided I had to confront my stepsister about those Hawaii photos. I sent a message basically saying, it's been over a week since the date you were supposed to pay MA back. Where is the Muller? She replied with a sob story. She climbed her work bonus was way smaller than expected, so she couldn't pay MA back as planned. She said she felt bad about it and asked MA to please be patient and give her a few more months to come up with the money. That alone had MA irritated. It was exactly what he feared would happen. But literally the next day after that conversation, he found out she booked herself a brand new designer pose, and not that she up one. I'm talking a high-end handbag that easily costs around $5,000. Here is how he found out. A friend of mine was mindlessly scrolling on Instagram and saw her real post flaunting the new pose using a different account. This friend knew about the whole situation and immediately texted MA like, "Oh, isn't your sister supposed to be paying you back? How is she buying that expensive bag?" I checked her page myself, and jebt her she was showing off this expensive pose with a caption like, "Finally got my dream bag." I nearly blew a fuse. She's telling MA she can't pay MA because her bonus was small, but somehow she has the funds for a luxury handbag. I even looked up the retail price of that bag out of curiosity. It's in the $3,000 to $5,000 range for a bag shipped from China with your style logo on it. So basically, the money that could have gone toward repaying MA legally went to the pose. At this point, I saw red. I wasn't even surprised, just angry that my suspicions were confirmed. I called her up, and as soon as she answered, I asked, "How the hell do I see you on Instagram with a brand new Louis Vuitton when you can't pay MA back?" She immediately got irritated at MA. She said, "That's none of your business. I'll pay you back when I can, okay? You stop harassing MA about it." Harassing her. Amazing. I told her she basically stole my money for her vacation and now has the nerve to splurge on luxury items instead of paying MA back. She just kept saying, "I'll pay you back. Just give MA time." And acted like he was a huge jerk for pressing her. She wouldn't give any firm timeline, just vague excuses. That was the last straw. She clearly has zero intention of taking responsibility unless forced. I'm done by patient or polite. $5,000 ISNT so meeting I can just fritte auf. And by on the money, the principle here is insane. She lead and effectively stole from MA. I'm not going to just let that go while she buys herself treats. After cooling off a bit from that call, I started looking into my options. I talked to a couple of close friends, and I saw wizard with from some commenters on my original post, and they basically said, "This is not okay, and you might need to take legal action." Suggestions ranged from taking her to small claims court to Utrecht filing a police report for fraud. I was as close to going down that route, but going through legal hassles is time-consuming and stressful. So, I decided on a different approach first. Can you guess? I might get Papa and Stepmama involved. VLL update after talking to them. Update 3. Read previous posts for context. Before involving cops or laborers, I figured I should tell our parents what was going on and see if they could talk some sense into her or at least back MA up. Normally, I hatte private family drama, but she crossed a line and it's beyond what I can handle alone. So, I called up my dad and my stepmom, who is my stepsister's mother, and asked if we could get together to discuss some meeting important. We ended up meeting at their house over the weekend. I sat them down and basically spilled were eating. To say my dad and stepmom were shocked would be an understatement. And here is a meeting I didst know, I wasn't the only family member she hit up for a bogus emergency loan. When I mentioned the timing that she borrowed the money from MA about a month ago, my dad and stepmom exchanged a look. Tinte told MA that around that same time, she had also asked them for money. Her story to them was that her car needed an urgent repair. She claimed her car was unsafe to drive, and she didn't have the cash to fix it. So, they lent her about $3,000 for those repairs. Of course, there were no car repairs. It was all a lie to get more Hawaii funds. We realized my stepsister had essentially funded her entire luxury vacation by scamming her family. She got $5,000 out of MA and $3,000 out of our parents. And who knows she borrowed or stole from Anuone Else? Probably the only reason she did tit up more relatives is that she'd got what she needed for the trip. My dad was absolutely livid. I don't think I've ever seen him that met at eiter of US. He's usually a calm, reasonable, but he was patzing the living room, ranting about how this is basically fraud and theft. My stepmom was furious. Too. You could tell she was but angry at her Daukarte and deeply embarrassed that she'd lead to all of US. T-Bod agreed this was completely unacceptable and that I'd support MA in getting my money back, and getting their money back. Of course. My dad even said, if she weren't my stepdaughter, I'd be calling the police right now. Coming from him, that's a big deal because he had this idea of involving cops in family matters. But he was that angry. My dad called up my stepsister and told her to come over to the house that day, without giving her a detailed reason. He just said so meeting like, we need to talk. Family emergency. She showed up a couple of hours later and found MA, dead, and her mom waiting in the living room. She immediately looked worried and was like, what's going on? VHY is everjona als serious. She probably took to me on a date or so meeting. Well, in a sense, it was this of her free ride. My dad unloaded on her. He told her, we know we're eating. At first, she treats a usual denial and deflection. I don't know what you're talking about, and it's not what you think, etc. But three of us firing of questions shoots that down quick. She pretty much crumpled into her chair and started crying. But notably, I did her a straight apology at first. Instead, she was sobbing about how life has been so hard for her latterly. She said she didn't know how to handle her problems and felt cornered, so she mad about scho itzes. She also mumbled so meeting about being in debt and extremely stressed, which was the first we'd heard about her being in any financial trouble. My stepmom shot back that being stressed is no excuse to screw over your family. Dad was boiling over and basically told her that what she did was inexcusable and tantamount to fraud. He actually said, if you weren't my stepdaughter, I'd be speaking to the police right now. That made her CRY even harder. She kept saying she didn't want to go to jail and that she was sorry and would make it right. We pressed her on how exactly she planned to make it right, considering she had told them just this ago that she needed a few more months, and then went and booked a designer pose. She did have a good answer, just more bowling and he messed it up big time. My stepmom was firm and told her she'd better figure out a way to pay her sent back immediately or else. We did explicitly say, or else VLL go to the police, but it was her really implied. I also made it clear that she hadn't just wronged MA doing the same thing to mom and dad was unbelievably low. At one point, my stepsister tried to claim she was going to pay us all back eventually, but none of us were willing to believe that without a concrete plan. Then came the hard part, deciding what to actually Donnerstag. The three of us, MA and my parents, stepped aside for Arbeit to talk privately while she sat in the kitchen. We agreed that we'd give her one last chance to fix this within the family, but IT would come with so much serious conditions and oversight. We called her back into the room and basically lied IT out. My dad told her point blank that she needs to pay back her dime to MA and to them fast, or else the next call would be to the cops. She was still blubbering and sighing. I told her she basically stole my money for her vacation and now has the nerve to splurge on luxury items instead of paying MA back. She just kept saying, I'll pay you back. Just give MA time. And acted like he was a huge jerk for pressing her. She wouldn't give any firm timeline, just vague excuses. That was the last straw. She clearly has zero intention of taking responsibility unless forced. I'm donor by patient or polite. $5,000 ISNT so meeting I can just fritte auf. And by on the money, the principle here is insane. She lead and effectively stole from MA. I'm not going to just let that go while she by herself treats. After cooling off a bit from that call, I started looking into my options. I talked to a couple of close friends, and I vesa atvis from some commenters on my original post, and I basically said, this is not okay, and you might need to take legal action. Suggestions ranged from talking here to small claims court to Utrecht filing a police report for fraud. I was as close to going down that route, but going through legal hustles is time-consuming and stressful. So, I decided on a different approach first. Can you guess? I might get Papa and stepmama involved. VLL update after talking to them. Update 3. Read previous posts for context. Before involving cops or laborers, I figured I should tell our parents what was going on and see if they could talk some sense into here or at least back me up. Normally, I hatte private family drama, but she crossed a line and it's beyond what I can handle alone. So, I called up my dad and my stepmom, who is my stepsister's mother, and asked if we could get together to discuss some meeting important. We ended up meeting at their house over the weekend. I sat them down and basically spillete were eating. To say my dad and stepmom very shocked would be an understatement. And here is a meeting I didst know, I wasn't the only family member she hit up for a bogus emergency loan. When I mentioned the timing that she borrowed the money from MA about a month ago, my dad and stepmom exchanged a look. Tinte told MA that around that same time, she had also asked them for money. Her story to them was that her car needed an urgent repair. She claimed her car was unsafe to drive, and she didn't have the cash to fix it. So, they lent her about $3,000 for those repairs. Of course, there were no car repairs. It was all a lie to get more Hawaii funds. We realized my stepsister had essentially funded her entire luxury vacation by scamming her family. She got $5,000 out of MA and $3,000 out of our parents. And who knows she borrowed or stole from a new owner else? Probably the only reason she did stit up more relatives is that she'd gathered what she needed for the trip. My dad was absolutely livid. I don't think I've ever seen him that met at either of us. He's usually a calm, reasonable, but he was passing the living room, ranting about how this is basically fraud and theft. My stepmom was furious, too. You could tell she was but angry at her daughter and deeply embarrassed that she'd lead to all of us. T-Bod agreed this was completely unacceptable and that I'd support MA in getting my money back, and getting their money back, of course. My dad even said, if she weren't my stepdaughter, I'd be calling the police right now. Coming from him, that's a big deal because he had the idea of involving cops in family matters. But he was that angry. My dad called up my stepsister and told her to come over to the house that day, without giving her a detailed reason. He just said so meeting like, we need to talk. Family emergency. She showed up a couple of hours later and found MA, dead, and her mom waiting in the living room. She immediately looked worried and was like, what's going on? VHY is everyone as serious. She probably took to me on a date or so meeting. Well, in a sense, it was this of her free ride. My dad unloaded on her. He told her, we know we're eating. At first, she treats the usual denial and deflection. I don't know what you're talking about, and it's not what you think, etc. But 3 of us firing of questions shoots that down quick. She pretty much crumpled into her chair and started crying. But notably, I did her a straight apology at first. Instead, she was sobbing about how life has been so hard for her latterly. She said she didn't know how to handle her problems and felt cornered, so she mad about scho itzes. She also mumbled so meeting about being in debt and extremely stressed, which was the first we'd heard about her being in any financial trouble. My stepmom shot back that being stressed is no excuse to screw over your family. Dad was boiling over and basically told her that what she did was inexcusable and tantamount to fraud. He actually said, if you weren't my stepdaughter, I'd be speaking to the police right now. That made her CRY even harder. She kept saying she didn't want to go to jail and that she was sorry and would make it right. We pressed her on how exactly she planned to make it right, considering she had told them just this ago that she needed a few more months, and then went and booked a designer pose. She didst have a good answer, just more bowling and he messed it up big time. My stepmom was firm and told her she'd better figure out a way to pay her sent back immediately or else. We didst explicitly say, or else VLL go to the police, but it was her really implied. I also made it clear that she hadn't just wronged Ma doing the same thing to mom and dad was unbelievably low. At one point, my stepsister tried to claim she was going to pay us all back eventually, but none of us were willing to believe that without a concrete plan. Then came the hard part, deciding what to actually Donnerstag. The three of us, Ma and my parents, stepped aside for a bit to talk privately while she sat in the kitchen. We agreed that we'd give her one last chance to fix this within the family, but IT would come with so much serious conditions and oversight. We called her back into the room and basically lied IT out. My dad told her point blank that she needs to pay back her dime to Ma and to them first, or else the next call would be to the cops. She was still blubbering and sighing. I'm trying. But we needed actual action, not just words. We gave her a week to figure the meeting out and ended the conversation there. And that's how I'm reading this here on Reddit. VLL update in a week or two. Small update. I was at a bar with our buddies, my gym friends who know about the drama basically kidnapped Ma and took Ma out, saying he needed a beer. Wille wie wäre tere? Guess who shows up? My stepsister's boyfriend streus in with two of his own friends. Them coming and just hoped we could ignore ich oder. Nope. Diese guys mada Beline for Ma. The boyfriend was visibly pissed. He got right up in my face, he could literally smell the rats from his mood, and started going off about how he caused a bunch of trouble for my stepsister. He told him he needed to back off and stop harassing her, accusing Ma of trying to __ her life over. It was a bizarre rant. I barely know this guy, so him confronting Ma out of nowhere was a shock. He was clearly looking for a fight, basically threatening that I'd regretted if he didst leave her alone. His two buddies flanked him like backup goons. Now, I'm not a huge guy and I'm not into bar fights, I'm more into women. So, for a second, I actually took die mich get my ass kicked. But the thing is, I wasn't alone. I was with three of my gym brothers, and my friends are big dudes. Two of them work as bouncers on the side, just to give you an idea. As the boyfriend was puffing himself up at Ma, my friends are stood up from our table. One of my buddies, was 6'5" and built like a tank, stepped forward and said calmly, "Is there a problem here?" The boyfriend's bravado vanished hit real quick. He went from aggro to in seconds. One of his pals muttered, "No, man. Let's notice this," and actually pulled the boyfriend back. The boyfriend, suddenly not so took, started mumbling trash about Ma being a snitch and said I'd better watch myself, even as he was retreating. Tintel bailed out of the bar. Not gonna lie, seeing him turn tail was pretty satisfying. The girl of that dude acting like I'm the villain for telling my own parents and he could have gone to the police, you know when he literally enjoyed a free luxury vacation on my dime. I made sure my parents knew about this little incident, just in case the clown tries so meeting else. My dad was fuming when he told him. He even called up my stepsister about it. She claimed she had no idea her boyfriend would confront Ma. And honestly, I believe her. She probably just told him he snitched. Either way, my parents made it crystal clear to her that if anything like that happens again, the police will be involved immediately. So, yeah. Fun times. Update 4. It's been about another week since the big confrontation at my parents' house. For a few days after that bar incident, my stepsister basically went me. She ignored calls and texts from Ma and from our parents. I suspect she was heading out of embarrassment and my betraying to think of our way out. Of course, that only made my dad more furious. He was about ready to drive to her apartment and bang on the door, but my stepmom convinced him to give her a little space to cool off. Teddy warned her via text that she needed to come back over and discuss how she was going to pay us back, or else they'd be talking for her action. Eventually, she agreed to come over. We all sat down again in my parents' living room, my dad, my stepmom, and one very miserable looking stepsister. I guess the stress is hitting here now. The first thing my dad said was basically, we were giving you time. We need to know what your plan is to pay us back. Tere was along the längse, and Tensha just crumbled. She started sobbing and said she had no way to pay us back right now because she's essentially broke and in serious credit card debt. Those weren't her exact words, but pretty much the gist. We all said Tere quietly while she spilled were eating. She finally admitted the full truth. She's been living way beyond her means for a while. She has multiple maxed out credit cards, and the Hawaii trip plus her regular spending pushed her over the edge. I asked her bluntly, how much debt are you in? After some hesitation, she finally confessed that her debt is upwards of $30,000 spread across several credit cards. Honestly, what the hell? It was a tiny toot. She broke down in tears and explained that she felt completely overwhelmed by her finances. She lied to me and to our parents because she was desperate for cash and for a vacation to escape her stress. She kept apologizing, saying she never meant for it to get so out of control and that she took she cold fix it on her own, but were eating spiraled. My stepmom was clearly upset but shifted into problem-solving mode. She laid out a plan for her, sell her car immediately. Her SUV is fully paid off and cold fetch enough to repay what she owes me and my parents. My stepsister cried, saying she needs her car for work, but my dad was firm. This is non-negotiable. Move back in with our parents. This way, she won't have to pay rent for a while, and they can monitor her spending and help her budget. She was clearly embarrassed by this but did start go. Sell off hair designer poses and other luxury items. All proceeds will go straight toward paying down her debts. Goodbye, Dreambug. Cut up all but one of her credit cards. My parents had her literally destroy the extra cards on the spot. She's a way to keep one for emergencies, but it'll be closely monitored. Throughout all of this, she was just sobbing and repeating, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I do believe she's genuinely sorry. Maybe sorry for getting caught and for hitting rock bottom. She was also visibly angry about the consequences. She wouldn't even look at me during the meeting. The only time she addressed me was when he directly asked, so, when can I expect my $5,000 back? She mumbled that as soon as the car sale goes through, it'll be paid. My dad quickly confirmed that yes, it'll be paid first from the car sale proceeds, then TLL recoup her $3,000, and any remaining money will go toward her credit card balances. I guess that's all, folks. I'm so done with this walleting. My stepsister is furious with me for telling on her, as if he was supposed to keep her scammer secret. She's barely said 2 words to me outside of that meeting. But if she wants to blame me, so be it. I know, and my dad and stepmom know, that he didst cause his hair on actions did. I'm just glad he stood up for myself and didst let her string me along. If I'd kept quiet, she'd probably still be out there racking up debt, and I'd have zero chance of seeing my money again. At least now, Teresa Resolutionen muss schon.